What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unusual Suspects. I'm extremely excited today. This is a special segment that we have. Before we get into it, I would like to introduce some of our regular unusuals. We have Connor Wolcott in the casa, and we have Rob Gargiulo. He is wearing pants today, which is very odd.
Hello.
And our unusuals today. So for some of you guys that don't know, Planet Fitness has been going through a lot of controversy as of late. We found out that they allow biological men in the women's locker rooms. A Planet Fitness member, Patricia Silva, was banned for complaining about a transgender woman, aka biological male, shaving in the female locker room. The man now has a staff escort him into the bathrooms, which is absolutely unbelievable. And guess what? You would think the gym would be like, all right, guys, let's try to shift gears, try to change policy. Nope, they doubled down on the decision, and they said, although some members may feel uncomfortable sharing facilities, this, and I quote, "this discomfort is not a reason to deny access to the transgender member." And by the way, since then, Planet Fitness, Rob, guess how much they lost? $400 million off the value. So with us today is a former CEO and founder of Planet Fitness and his attorney, Michael Grandal and Onir Yuppies. Yeah, I got it right. Well, guys, welcome. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you
for
having me.
Bright and early.
Bright and early.
So wait, where were you guys? How were you guys? Were you guys traveling through? You guys live in Florida?
We do.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are here. So look,
Yes.
I show up. I see the van. You guys jumped out like the mafia, like you guys were about to do a hit, and I respect it. So, can you take a minute, Mike? Please tell everybody, if you can, how you founded Planet Fitness, where we are today with the men in the locker rooms, and just that whole transition period.
Sure. Back in August of '92, I bought a failing Gold's Gym with my brother. We then took that over a period of time from, 1 unit to 600 units in 2012. That's when I sold the company to a private equity firm. Mm-hmm. And we had designed the gym to be for beginners. Mm-hmm. Judgment-free zone back pre-2008 meant that if you were a little overweight, you could come to our gym and nobody would make fun of you. Mm-hmm. And that's really, the idea behind it. It certainly didn't ever head to men being able to use the women's locker rooms.
And what? So okay, Mike. So just really fast. So you had 600 locations, Planet Fitness, and then
I sold.
When you
as
sold,
I was CEO.
Got you. So you selling it? What did you just want to get out, or was that whole
the company had become very large at that point?
Okay.
And the three partners decided that we needed some help to run the place.
Okay.
And we sold to a private equity company, and the lead counsel that was brought into our company with them was a pedophile.
Okay. And right before we get into there, so hold on. So as a founder, and we just talked about this on here a couple of seconds ago, as a founder, it's your baby. You made it. You did it for people that come in that were kind of uncomfortable. You built this huge thing. Everybody knows what Planet Fitness is. How does it make you feel now that you're not there as the founder CEO? When you wake up in the morning, you have to think about this type of situation.
It's absolutely disgusting to me. It was my whole life's work. It was the only thing that I ever really got right in my life. And to see where it's at today, it's complete destruction. It just leaves me shaking my head. And they're quadrupling down, as you said, on stupid fucking decisions.
Yeah. Onir, what do you think about this? Because you represent Mike.
It's his legacy, right? So imagine you spent your entire life building up a great brand, an incredible product for everyone to use, and now they've bastardized it. And it's sad. I think Michael's described it before as it's like seeing a child, with failing health. It's just very, very sad.
Yeah. So, Mike, just go. Do you have any current financial interests or investments with Planet Fitness? You're completely out.
I own a couple of buildings that they rent from me. That's it. I have
it's your property.
Actually, 3 months after we sold to the private equity company, I figured out this guy was a sex abuser.
Okay.
One of our franchisees brought a an investigation to me that
Okay.
proved that this guy was a sex offender, pedophile, whatever. And I brought that to the private equity firm, and they showed me the door.
Holy shit! So I'm gonna. You gonna say something here?
Yeah, it goes deeper than that too. And Michael will tell you, he was a rising star in the Democratic Party in North Carolina.
This is Richard Moore.
This is Richard
Moore,
the general
okay.
counsel, and
Got
so he's very bright guy, very good-looking guy, can speak eloquently, good head on his shoulders. But he was convicted. By the way, he married a beauty queen from his town. Everything seemed to be going perfect, and he gets arrested. And it turns out he was 24 years old, he was a teacher also. He was having sex with 16-year-old boys that were living with him and were former students.
What the hell? Where are the parents at?
Yeah.
That's oh my God.
Yeah. So it was huge news, and somehow I don't know exactly how, but somehow he ends up becoming a licensed attorney up in Massachusetts.
This is after being convicted?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! So I mean, I don't think you can you even be a. Can you get your bar, Connor? Can you become a lawyer if you're?
Don't ask me. I'm no legal expert, but I'd like to assume no.
I mean,
I would hope.
One would hope.
Let me put it this way. He had to give up his teaching certificate and resign from the General Assembly in North Carolina. But then he went to law school and applied to the bar up there, and he had a very powerful law firm apply on his behalf. And we've looked at all the letters. Mm-hmm. They wrote a letter and said, "Hey, we fully investigated what happened in North Carolina." And they said it's basically he's just gay, and it's a backward state, and he's ahead of his times, and he's the victim.
Oh, of course,
and
that's how they roll when it comes to the LGBTQ.
Right, they were consenting adults. He's 24 and they're 16. That's the legal age of consent in North Carolina, but those are not consenting adults.
Yeah, no, I agree. And by the way, because I do want to get into the Richard Moore situation, I just want to show a couple of photos. Kelly's going to bring them up. Like we were talking about this. So this right here is the girl, the Patricia Silva. This is the guy. That is a grown man right there. There's women in there. And by the way, is there an age limit for children that could come into the Planet Fitness?
Yeah,
Michael?
13.
13. So there could be potentially 13-year-olds in there. God forbid. And I know you spoke about this on an interview, Michael. And Anir, you have children?
Oh yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, if I found out that my 13-year-old is in there and that scumbag is in there playing this freaking I'm a woman game, you guys will never see me again because I will be in prison for the rest of my life. I won't play this game. So she made this video. She exposed him. They ban her for life, for life. And now this guy gets an escort inside the gym. Can you, it's as if we're living in a fake world.
By the way, that's exactly what happened in essence to Michael when he brought this up.
So that was the deal, Mike.
I was shown the door.
So, okay, wait. Okay, please hold that thought. So, I want to show one more and know what you guys feel about. So, Kelly, what's this next photo? Do you have okay, so this photo on the bottom is a guy, his sexual fetish. He's masturbating. Yeah, Kelly, thank you, my love. This guy is masturbating inside the Planet Fitness locker room and recording it. I don't think these guys know what he's doing. Go to the next one, Kelly. And this is the next photo. Look at this one. This is a guy acting out with sexual fetishes and peeking under bathroom stalls. I had to color out the dildo that he has on the right, but he's exposing him. Like, dude, this is unbelievable. And then there's one more. I want to show you guys a video. Mike, you told me about this one. This is of the fetish.
Yeah.
This is the fetish one that we're going to show you guys right now. This is by the way, this is a porn star, a porn actor masturbating inside Planet Fitness. I guess this is just the new norm. And then this next one is going to be a girl and a guy doing fetish. What is this one, Mike? Can you explain to people what this is?
I honestly, the only thing I can say is it's like the opening scene in Billions. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, Kelly, can you play it?
The guy, she spits in his mouth at the end.
She spits in, and mind you, this isn't after hours.
This is while they're open, working out on the gym floor. I don't know if it's real, but
no. I mean,
sure
dude, look
looks
at the equipment is purple.
Oh, that's Planet equipment. I'll tell you that.
I mean, unless it's well, yeah. Can you play it really fast?
Hey, bitch, switch.
Yes, goddess, thank you.
Dude, what the hell is going on? Yeah, you can hear the people working out in the back. Dude, what kind of freak show shit is this?
I'm bound.
Oh, of course, there's a Hello Kitty bag.
Oh, of course. And I mean, listen, she looks attractive as shit. That guy is a freaking loser, but the gym is active. That's obviously a Planet Fitness. Yes, she has an amazing ass, but still, like, this should not be allowed. Like, I'm shocked. This management, somebody has to complain, and somebody, yeah, I'm good, Kel. And then she spits in his mouth after. We don't have to see that.
Now, bear in mind, like, I had a Planet Fitness membership during like late stage pandemic lockdown stuff.
Yeah.
They were making you wipe down everything, and people were coming in with masks, and we got people spitting in each other's mouths, but you can't leave sweat stains on the equipment.
Yeah.
What's up with the priorities of this gym?
That's
right
so
now?
freaking funny. So Mike, going back to you. So you sell in 2012. When you said they basically pushed you out, what led to that? And Richard Moore so when you're saying he's Planet Fitness's lead counsel, you as the CEO, you have no say on who the company hires as the lead?
This was as the transition was happening in the sale. I was stepping down to be a board member.
Okay.
And Richard Moore had started, because he came onto the company before we sold.
Okay.
And he started screwing with me like an employee's never screwed with me before. And I didn't want to fire or do anything at that time because we were in the middle of a sale. So as soon as the sale came about, then, I took, in March of 13, I took a dossier to them showing all his sexual proclivities. And, I still can't believe they chose him to stay in the company.
I'm so confused. What gave you the inclination that what would make you want to go after, like, do private investigation work to find out? Was there like a sign where you're like, wait a minute, this guy's weird, to find out?
Well, the way that it all went down, I felt like there was something wrong in my gut with it.
Okay.
I just knew. Mm-hmm. And what he did is he went around and basically sabotaged my character with all our franchisees, people within the company, to the which I never knew, but he had worked on a merger for the private equity company while he was at Ropes and Gray, the other company, and they never made us aware of that when we sold the company to them.
Holy shit.
So there was just corruption everywhere.
It's like your best friend buys a company that you work at, and you're the only one that they really, really know. So
Yeah.
when your buddy buys the company, you're big man on campus, and that's what ended up happening with him, because the private equity firm used that other big firm that Richard Moore came from as their attorneys. Planet Fitness used it as their attorneys also, and so he comes in. And by the way, they fully investigated. That's what they said anyway. They fully investigated everything that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they know about his background.
Dude, that's and then he becomes the head of HR at Planet Fitness.
Well, that's because he had to cover up everybody was
Holy
abusing.
shit, bro! What a demon, bro! Like what? Go ahead, Connor.
So out of curiosity, Mike, when they sort of moved to push you out, was it explicitly because you went after this guy? Did they sit you down and say, "Hey, you made these accusations against our counsel. We don't like that. You're out," or was it kind of dressed up as something else? Like, did they give you another reason for it, or was it just?
Well, they
how
told
they do that?
everybody that I left willingly, but I did not leave willingly. That was my whole life. I didn't, I had no other plans. I couldn't do anything else, and it was odd how it just kind of died on the vine like that. I never realized the whole engineering of the process to get me out there. But the very first thing they did when they came in and took over the company, they fired my legal department, they fired my accounting department, and then they focused on me and taking me out. And if you really think about it long term, I had a very strong relationship with all the franchisees, and they trusted me because I had made them all a shit ton of money. And they would never be able to destroy me, or if I sided with the franchisees on policies, there's no way. It was a much easier company to take over without me being there.
Did you lose any money because of him?
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds
of millions.
So, and how does that work?
12% of a $5 billion company.
Holy shit! And what was the details on how do you lose money if the deal is going to go through? What does his involvement had you lose that much money?
Yeah, because I basically went to him and said, if you're leaving that guy in the company, I can't stay. And that's how I got the door.
Holy shit, bro. Dude, I'm never walking into another Planet Fitness ever again. I'm just throwing that out there. Go ahead.
I mean, there's few people who would put their money where their mouth is, you know. So he didn't just say it; he did it, and you know that's pretty heroic to take that sort of.
Oh,
position.
dude, and as we just talked, so how many kids do you have?
3.
3 kids.
4.
4 kids. God bless them. Like I don't know how to like as a father. You guys have kids, and how old your oldest?
28.
28.
17.
17. I'm pretty not necessarily Planet Fitness. I mean locker rooms just in general and gyms and like with this type of stuff happening, they're by the way, they're escorting the guy back inside with like a chaperone. Who knows if they're doing that all the time? It seems like that's the culture. As a father, I'm gonna go to both of you guys. How do you react to this, Mike? Knowing that this shit is happening.
I think it's a much bigger question. To how does this happen? You know, how do we get to this point where I think there's 1.6 million trans or pedophiles or whatever in this country, and we're supposed to be a republic where the majority rules. This is anything. This is the minority rules. It's a bit of communism, in my opinion.
What do you think?
I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Please, I want to know.
I think if you look at the decline of a lot of societies, like the Roman Empire, you know, you can look at the Greek Empire. We start having fun with normal things like gender towards the end of these empires, right? It's like people run out of things to do. You have a good life. Like this isn't a discussion that's happening in Cuba and Venezuela and Haiti, where you know people are trying to survive. They're not having discussions on, you know, what my gender is today and I want to transition or any of that nonsense. As a father, I've always been very careful. I homeschool my kids, right? Because I don't want them going to school where they're going to be fed, you know, all sorts of nonsense. I have to watch and screen movies before they watch them because you never know what they're going to stick in.
Of course.
So nowadays, my new thing is I'll just research a movie and type in LGBT to see, because they'll put it out there. They'll tell you, oh, this is a great LGBT-friendly movie. We have a character who's transitioning, a character with 2 dads. I don't appreciate the normalization of deviant behavior and imposing it on the youth, especially. Because how is it that these numbers are going up so dramatically? Right? How are the numbers going up for kids who are? I think Bill Maher is the one who said, "Are all the babies just being born in the wrong bodies? Is there a you know, blip at the baby factory?"
Yeah. What's happening? Yeah. And so, and here's my question to both of you guys: how, and why do you think such a small? And I think you said the number 1.6. It's like 0.0. Is it 0.01? 0.0. It's very
small.
It's very small. How are they being so protected? Great case and point right there. The guy comes in. He actually got his bar exam. Everybody knows who he is and what he is, and they're protected. I don't understand how it's happening. As you're seeing, I know last Easter Sunday, I know, you know, they announced it years ago that it falls on March 31st, whatever. But the fact that the White House was so prominent in saying, guys, it's Trans Visibility Day. They didn't mention Jesus Christ. They didn't mention the resurrection. Nothing about God. And they put that 0.04, whatever the hell the percentage is, on the Trans Visibility Day. I want to, and actually, Kelly, can you show this? Let me show you guys something. These are the trans LGBTQ holidays. Like I thought this was a joke. I thought it was actually like a spoof. I'm not going to say the dates, but Aromatic Spectrum Awareness Week, LGBTQIA plus Health Awareness Week, Transgender Day of Visibility, International Asexuality Day, International Day of Pink, Day Opposing Homophobia, Day of Silence, Lesbian Visibility Day. But the list goes on and on. It's from February to November. Something, what, Kel? Aromantic? What does that mean? They don't like can't. Oh, aromatic? Oh, my bad. Aromatic. What, guys? Guess what? Now that I said that, that's going to be a day too.
You're the weird one for mispronouncing it.
Yeah, I'm the weird one. But you see this, Michael? How there has to be an explanation for how are they so protected? How?
The politicians are all pedos.
It's funny that you say that.
Think about it. The judges and all that. How does that? I mean, if you look at the YDC case, what's happening up in New Hampshire in the Sununu Center, there are thousands of kids that have been abused, that are taken from their families and being abused. It's the system. It's a franchise of corruption.
And that answers the question where how do they not get in trouble when everybody's involved, just like the Epstein thing. Like Rob, you did Wednesday's story, right? The Epstein, what was that thing?
The 200 cell phone data pings, which is incredible. So they Wired Investigative put together an investigation into the leaked cell phone data of 200 cell phones that pinged to Little St. James Island, correct?
Yep.
That's the name of the island, Jeffrey Epstein's island. And then they pinged those same cell phones back to their original locations, right? So they traveled to Epstein Island. So then they went, okay, well, where did those phones also ping at? And they found that most of those phones that were pinging 160 locations throughout the United States, some spots in Ukraine, there was one other place where they were pinged, but the majority of them were in the United States. The majority of them happen to be in the northeastern coordinates of the United States, specifically around Washington, D.C. Like you can see a map where they have red dots for the amount of traffic back and forth to the island, and then you look at D.C.
A lot of New
and
Yorkers.
it's just like, it looks like a herpes outbreak.
It's
There's
like
so many
New
red
York,
dots.
D.C., Miami, and then a couple other ones.
There was one
around.
scattered, like one pervert was in the middle of the country.
And then they-
Only here, just one perv,
Yeah.
but it was concentrated like, okay. At this point, I don't think it's a secret. I mean, some people want to be in denial, especially the elites. When you talk about the Bill Clinton, who was the most prolific traveler to, what was the island called, Rob?
Little St. James
Little
Island.
St. James. He was on the Lolita Express the most of anybody. And anytime you bring up, which, okay, people debunk it, from Pizzagate to Epstein to God knows what's going on with Diddy. I don't care what anybody says. These videos of him with Justin Bieber are completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
And at the time, it's almost as if like there's like a transfer. Nobody, nobody. Now that you see it, when the allegations come out, you're like, wait a minute. Why are parents, by the way, besides the parents, besides the evil demons, why are parents letting their 15-year-old go stay with a grown man in his 30s for 2 weeks on end? And I don't want to hear this, well, they're producing music. No. You're producing a kid that's going to have mental and like emotional trauma for the rest of their life. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Justin Bieber. He used to be this nice, sweet kid. He looks like he's gone through hell and back. And he made a video crying about, I forgot which interview it was. Kelly, you might be able to know. You don't have to pull it up. Where he's crying about the girl that he's with, and he's hoping, Rob, that nothing happens to her of what he went through. Rob, were you going to say something?
Well, no, you see the video with P. Diddy specifically, the video, it's very incriminating of him patting down Justin Bieber. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what he was doing, but when there's smoke, there's fire, right? There's a lot of rumors, a lot of people speaking out about sex acts that they saw going on at these, what were they, freak out parties?
Yeah,
The Diddy freak off parties. Yeah. Then he did Puffy Flavor Camp, where children in between the ages of 10 and 14 years old, like Usher and Justin Bieber, went and lived with this grown man in his mansion. And even according to P. Diddy, he said, I can't really go into what we're going to do, but we're going to have some fun. Like, okay, what is that? You're going to Chuck E. Cheese and playing video games? Or are you having these kids watch you have sex with other women and then having sex with these kids? Are men involved? And I think we got to make a very clear distinction in this episode, because it sounds like we're going in that direction, and I don't want to go in that direction. Yeah. Not all transgender people are pedophiles. And I think we have to make that very clear. Yeah. Transgenderism is a thing. There are people that are out there. And there are people that I feel like I'm born as a woman, and my body, my entire life, I felt that way. But to get those people and try and change them, give them drugs, give them genital mutilation, which is what you're doing to people under the age of 18. I have a huge problem with that. You want to go and transition at 25? Fine. Be my guest. It's not impacting me. If you're I don't want you going into the lady shower or locker room at Planet Fitness, and you certainly should not be shaving. Who goes to the gym and shaves? It's a weird...
I've never shaved in the gym.
Listen, if you're trying to pass yourself off as a lady, you shave at home.
Yeah.
If you're a guy and you got a 5 o'clock shadow like that, you're not going to the gym
this
and
is more than
shaving
5
that
o'clock,
there.
but sure.
You shave that at home.
Yeah, but that brings up a point I wanted to get to, actually. If we can pull up the photo of that guy again, Kelly, I don't know if you have that.
Which one? The biological male.
The guy in the locker
terrible
room.
job pretending to be a woman.
That's what I wanted to point out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, this is by far the laziest gender transition I have ever seen in my life.
Yes.
You didn't grow your hair out, you just put on a skirt.
That's
Which really goes to show many of them are not actually trying to be women. It's just the sexual fetish of dressing
Thank you.
up and
Yes.
pretending.
Thank you for saying that.
And
This guy's not even
perversion.
really transgender. He's just a fetishist in a woman's
Yeah.
locker room.
No, it goes. Remember the teacher that was walking around with the big silicone boobies? The
Yeah.
guy that was dressing as the lady.
Yeah.
Like, there's this part where we're going to have people who disrupt just to disrupt. You see it on the internet. Read the chat for the PBD podcast, right? The people just talk shit to talk shit. There are people who are just going to act like assholes to get attention. I think the problem is then we give those people the attention that they're starving for, and then other people who are starving for that attention see those people getting that attention, and it encourages them to act like idiots and act like that's not a lady. That's clearly not a person who feels like they're identifying as a woman. Otherwise, you do a hell of a lot. My wife doesn't go out in public looking like shit. She puts on her eyebrows. She makes herself look like a lady when she goes out. That guy is not giving a shit, and that's a man dressed as a woman trying to shave his face in a lady's locker room. And any person who sees that and disagrees with that, I'm sorry to use the term, but you're retarded, because that is retarded thinking that person is a lady.
So Mike, because I think we have like another minute left. I want to know, in closing, what message would you say to just Planet Fitness as a company now? Because you have no attachment to Planet Fitness at all, Mike. So what would you say to Planet Fitness today, and what do they need to do moving forward to remedy this situation? I'm going to call it an epidemic of just men, biological men, trying to invade the space of women. And I don't care what people say. I think, and Rob, I 100% agree with you, but it's growing more and more where I'm seeing stuff where I'm like, wait a minute. You're using this shit as an excuse to be a disgusting pervert in front of people, because the gay community, and me and Kelly have gay friends, they are not happy with this bullshit movement. They keep adding letters to this thing, and these gay people that have to fight and struggle their whole lives just to be seen as equal, now they're getting hijacked by these lazy assholes.
Look at Connor.
I know,
Perfect
damn
example
it.
for
So Mike, in closing, I just want to know your message to Planet Fitness, and what can they do, if they can do anything, to remedy this horrible situation.
Well, I think with who controls their voting shares, they really can't do a damn thing. But I would fire the whole freaking board, and I would come in and I would, I'd come with red, white, and blue colors. I'd reverse engineer all the crazy shit they did. Just do the opposite. And, I mean, it can be fixed. They'll still be around regardless.
Yep.
Because most of the people 70% of the members never use the gym.
That's a crazy, yeah.
If you really think about it, if you see somebody with a Planet Fitness key tag, it's a 70% chance they don't work out.
They just love the keychain, the purple colors.
They get it, and you're going to think about it, and eventually they'll start Monday, which that's a whole different show to get into a concept.
Yeah.
But
Rob, what are you going to say? Because we're going to close up.
One thing I do want to bring up, and I think this is a good idea, you touched on having to go and research movies to make sure that there's not some type of hidden agenda for your children. And it's a shame that you have to do that. They made these laws back in the 90s. Remember when they started? They did it with like 2 Live Crew's album, where they put on parental label warnings. And they have it to this day. When you're watching a TV show that's too violent, it's MTVV or whatever. They have that symbol that you see in the corner. Why don't they have that for this, where there's, hey, this is LGBT programming? That way parents don't have to go and investigate themselves. They can see and go, okay, well, this show has, it has lesbian, transgender themes in it. I don't think my children really need to watch that because they're only 6, so I'm going to avoid it. Like, there should be some type of parental warning system for this as well, just like cursing, just like violence, just like sexuality in movies.
Well, because back in the day, they wanted to keep kids away from those things.
Now they
don't want to keep anyone away from it now, so there's not going to be a warning.
Yeah.
But the signs are there if you know what you're looking for. They're not going to have a label that says, warning, this gym might contain transgenders. But what they will have is, things like pride flags hung up in the window. You look at their social media and they'll talk about these things. And then there's also, like you were saying, Mike, the judgment-free zone. That used to mean something actually really good, and it was a very solid business model. We didn't have time to dig into that, but when you look at how Planet Fitness was built, it's very interesting, and you guys really had something solid there. But what does judgment mean to people now? It's not about making discerning calls. It's not about, just accepting anyone who's in any physical shape as they're trying to improve themselves. if you're not being judgmental according to the modern definition, it just means all bets are off and anybody can do whatever they want. So I think that's part of where the downfall of that company has come from.
Great point, Connor. If you,
Yeah, I'll summarize in this point. There's a service called VidAngel that I've been using for years that lets you. It shows you all the bad things in the movie and you can cut them out.
oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's great.
snap.
You know who sued them into oblivion?
Who?
Disney.
Oh, what? Wow, yo, Disney, man,
surprise.
keep that disgusting culture going, man. Wow, Disney. But you know, I love Disney's bad ideas have bad consequences, and they're the ones feeling it.
Yeah.
So, but Mike, oh dear, God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Planet Fitness, whatever the hell they're going through, just in general, this whole movement of men, women, showers, this, that, your situation. I think at the end of the day, Mike, you're fighting the good fight, and I think God will definitely take care of you in the end run. That being said, guys, we love you guys. God bless you. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.